there were some young guys, and that was our whole emphasis today, to see some of the young guys step up, and we'll watch the film. But I thought our offensive line, especially those young guys, played really well. They gave the running back some holes. They gave the backup quarterbacks the chance to throw the football, and then I think we were able to see Lance Dunn do some special things. Jeff Illies is starting to really come along, and just naked eye, I thought Easton Stick did some really special things running the football. So I was really pleased as a whole with the development throughout the spring, but as I told the guys, we've got a long ways to go before we're ready to play in Missoula in the end of August.
Long way to go on defense?
We got a long way to go in general, but there's no question. But there were some guys that we didn't have in there on defense, but I also think our offense is pretty doggone good too. But no question, we've got to shore up some things defensively.
Dan Marlette led the way with 6 tackles and just continues to make you want to play him, right?
Boy, he does. And we've got to find ways to get him on the field, maybe simplify some stuff to make sure that he can play fast. But he's a guy that's a redshirt freshman that I think is a playmaker.
Is there anybody in particular that you wanted to see kind of in this game action? I know you've seen scrimmages already, but anybody in particular that you wanted to see, and did they?
Not particular by individual, more by position. I still go back to our offensive line. You know, a year ago or so, we talked about having 3 offensive line starters returning, and it ended up only having 1 because we lost guys, and that next crop of guys stepped up. At that position, NDSU history, we're only going to be as good as our offensive line can take us as an offensive team, and so we have all those young true freshmen playing in the offensive line that, yeah, we hope Jeremy Kelly's back, we hope Big Zach Johnson's back, and Plankers and all those other guys, but there's going to be a game, there's going to be a critical game where those young guys have to come in, and we can't miss a beat offensively, because as everybody knows, if you give Carson a little bit of time and you give some of our backs a little bit of daylight, I think we can score some points.
You've talked about it. I think Lance Dunn showed his talent today.
He's got a second gear, and that's the thing I really like about Lance, is he can bounce it outside and take it, be a home run hitter. That being said, we've got 2,500 yards to replace with Croc, and it's going to come from a lot of guys, and King and Chase and Lance are all going to be an integral part of that process of getting those 2,500 yards replaced.
It really seemed like Jeff Illies showed some receiving skills today. What do you think of that?
Well, I was telling, in fact, Hegel and I were talking, that's the Illies that I saw catching balls over Marcus as a true freshman on the scout team, and we've packed some pounds on Jeff so that he can be a hand in the dirt tight end, which will help us, because if we can flex him out, he'll create some mismatches. And yeah, Jeff, I thought, had a really good spring and had some success today, which I hope will give him a lot of confidence.
About Allison today, how do you think he played? And any shot Trey goes back to the corner?
We'll find out. We got a lot of evaluating to do there. I got to see how Jalen did. Jalen's got a world of ability. He's just inexperienced. He can really run. You know, Andrew Smith, him playing will dictate where we move Trey or what we do with Trey. But obviously we've got some young guys back there, and we've got some freshmen coming in that that's probably, I would say, the most critical area for us to improve on as a secondary.
Coach, defensively, Chris Klieman looked like you had him lined up at linebacker and safety. Is that what we can expect from him?
Yeah, probably more linebacker, nickel stuff than safety stuff, just based on the nature of teams we play. If we played our offense, you'd see him more at safety, but with the nature of all the spread teams we play, he'll be more at a linebacker position.
Chris, how vanilla was a playbook today?
Really vanilla, both sides of the ball, and both sides of the ball really vanilla. We probably opened up a little bit more offensively for guys like Easton, so that we could get another gauge of what he can do running the football. But you know, Matt had 1 pressure, and that was all he could use today, and that's all we really wanted him to do. Because I wanted to see Marlette tackle. I wanted to see Jalen Allison tackle, Wimbush, and I didn't want to make it a blitz fest. I wanted to see our guys play base defense.
The word about Easton Stick, is that even beyond what his skill set to be able to run the football? Because we knew about his arm, but his ability to get out of the pocket.
Well, he's a really good athlete. He can really run, and I think that was evident today how good an athlete he is. He's still got to grasp the system, and that's something that he's still a freshman, and so he's got a long ways to go with the system and learning it. But boy, he had from practice 1 to practice 15. Grew leaps and bounds.
It was awesome. It's good to be around, and practice reps are great and everything, but to get out here and know you're able to get hit, stuff moves a little quicker and your adrenaline's going, and so it was a lot of fun to take some hits and make some plays.
A lot of people probably talked about your arm, but maybe not seeing you be able to run the football. How much has that been a part of your game going back to your days in Omaha?
It was just something that I think I've always kind of done, is just try to extend plays and make something happen. And sometimes it gets me in trouble too. That's something I got to work on a lot, is kind of know when you're dead and take your losses. But it's something that I, just try to extend plays and make stuff happen.
Offense seemed like they scored a lot today. What was your thoughts on just generally how you guys moved the ball today?
I think we did all right. There's a lot of stuff to improve on, but I think guys stepped up and played pretty well, especially coming from the last 2 Saturdays where we scrimmaged. I think we took a step definitely in the right direction this week.
Easton, with the versatility that I think maybe you and Lance create together when you're in that backfield, did you guys see any more extra chemistry develop any of that out there?
Oh, I mean, last year on scout team, we kind of did similar stuff where we're mimicking other offenses, and we got to do a lot of stuff with the spread offenses that we played, so that was fun, and kind of just seeing what each other can do. But yeah, I mean, Lance is an awesome running back. You guys saw that today. He's quick and powerful, so he's going to be a great player.
Describe your spring. Was this what you wanted to get out of it? Where do you feel you're at right now?
Yeah, I think I grew. There's a lot of areas to keep growing, obviously, but I think my grasp of the offense is growing, and it's going to keep growing, especially having Carson and Coach Hedberg. They're so good at, giving different perspectives, seeing it different ways. So I'm just going to try to keep growing and cut down on the mental mistakes.
Still really exciting to get to make plays in front of even this many people, but I feel like I can make plays and be more part of the offense in the run game too, and they can throw me out wide like that, and it just feels good to still keep my speed and being a threat both run and deep.
Oh my God, Jeff Illies!
Chris said you'd like to see a more dual threat. That means what? Getting bigger and working on the run blocking. What does that mean?
Yeah, that's exactly what it means. I still got a lot of weight to gain. They want me maybe 10 more pounds by the time the season starts. Yeah, so I can be out there, not just every time I'm out there that you're going to know it's a pass play, if not. So, yeah, work on my run game.
What do you weigh right now?
About 220.
Okay.
How versatile would you say the tight end group is? With you could throw an Andrew Bonnet there as well with you and Luke Elvers. How nice is it to be part of that kind of group?
It'd be awesome. I mean, my goal is to be like an Andrew Bonnet because he's 250 and he's just as quick, athletic as I am, and that's the type of player I'd like to be someday. Yeah.
I thought you guys in general showed a lot of athleticism. Lance, and then you got Easton running around out there. What did you see?
Yeah, they got a lot of really unbelievable freshmen. Lance, to me, is really impressive. Not only is he thick and big and strong, but he's got that breakaway speed.
How do you feel you're comfortable with the offense, Jeff, this time when you played quite a bit last year to where you're at right now?
Last year, every play I was in was a 12 alias or personnel for me. This year, they told me they feel comfortable just throwing me in there, any formation, any whatever. So that feels really good to know that they feel more confident in me as a run blocker.
Today was a little slow and tentative, and you could see that through the whole defense. And from a fundamental standpoint, I wasn't there. I missed a lot of tackles. I was in the right position to make plays. I mean, that goes for kind of the whole defense too. And we just weren't there 100%, and so you could just see it.
Defense disappointed today?
We were just slow and tentative, like I said before, and physically we weren't all there. We're more of a smash mouth defense, and that's not what you saw out there.
Coach said you kind of had you didn't open up the playbook too much. Were you kind of hoping that you guys could open up the playbook and maybe show the offense a little bit more what you
we didn't do that because this event was televised, and teams are obviously watching. But we have a few more tricks up our sleeves with more of the playbook coming. And those plays are a lot more fun, a lot more pressure. But I mean, the plays we played, just our base rules. We should be able to get that down, and we should be able to make plays out of that alone.
How much you're at after the spring here, Dan? You're in a position. Coach Klieman says he's going to play a lot come the fall.
I've learned a lot over the spring. I've achieved a lot over the spring. I still have a long ways to go. I could be in a position. I just got to come through the summer, learn more, get bigger, work on everything else, and I just got to put myself in a position.
Seems like there's about 4 or 5 linebackers that all might see a lot of playing time come fall. How much do you think that helps the defense out and gives you guys a strength at linebacker?
Coach Hentz talked about this. He said we're going to have those starting 3 in, and once they get a little gas, we bring in second string. And they pick up, they make some plays, and then you throw the ones right back in there to make more plays. And so it's more of instead of the ones declining throughout the game, you keep them at that same level of play